Do you want to learn how to put one of these guys on your map extremely fast here in the Hunter Call of the Wild? Well, this, my Frenchmans, is in fact the video for you, because in this video what we're going to be doing is talking about A, the easiest way to put one of these guys in your lodge, and B, also how to properly herd manage them. We're going to do my typical extremely simple guide here in theHunter National Park, and then as always with my Great One guides, at the end of the video we're going to talk about herd management and how to do it in a simple way. I'm just going to be using the updated herd management info that I know, and teach you guys the way that we teach it in the way that seems to work properly. But nonetheless, this video will teach you absolutely everything you need to know to put a fallow deer Great One in your lodge, just like this one here, in a simple and understandable way that anybody can understand and anybody can execute, which is kind of what I'm known for here on YouTube, being extremely simple and understandable. So without further ado guys, wasting no more of your time, let's go ahead and dive into the video. Okay, so the very first thing that you guys are going to want to do to go ahead and start your fallow deer Great One grind here in theHunter is go ahead and find all of your drink zones. This is a very simple thing to do. I'll go ahead and toss a hotspot map up on screen for you guys right now that'll show you exactly when and where to find fallow deer here in theHunter. The highlighted areas are the only places on the map that fallow deer drink at, so all you need to do is run around until you have a drink zone, or several drink zones, in pretty much every single one of the highlighted areas. I would suggest running the highlighted areas like 2 to 4 times probably. In other words, you should have roughly 40 to 45 drink zones, 35, 40, 45 drink zones, somewhere in that range for here in theHunter. And the reason that you need and want to discover all of your drink zones for your fallow deer grind is so that way you get something called consistent respawns. Now, what consistent respawns are, I'm going to give you a very detailed explanation here. It's a very simple thing. We're going to use this diamond here as an example. Absolutely massive, up to 272. If I were to shoot this buck out of this individual zone right here, as you can see that's his drink zone, what would happen is he would respawn right here where I shot him from. He will respawn nowhere on the map besides this drink zone that I shot him out of. And the reason for that is because I have all of my drink zones discovered and I'm getting consistent respawns. That is why you want to discover all of your drink zones. If I were to not have all of my drink zones discovered, and I were to shoot this buck here, he could respawn anywheres on the map, completely random at a completely random drink zone, which is inconsistent respawns. Consistent respawns means your deer consistently respawn where you shot them from, and in order to get them to do that, you have to have all, if not the majority of your drink zones discovered. I usually tell people find drink zones until you begin to get consistent respawns, and from that point, you're good to move on in your grind. So moving forwards, the next thing that you need to understand is the difference between a solo zone and a herd zone. A solo zone is a zone with only males in it or a singular male in it. Now we're going to talk about why solos are a pain and why you shouldn't set up on them here in a few minutes, but for now you just need to understand what they are, and you need to understand the fact that you can't set up on them. So if you find a zone that has nothing but a singular male in it, or if you don't know how to tell, you walk up to where deer are drinking at and you look in your upper right hand corner and it says there's only one animal drinking there instead of, well, 6 for me, but the number will vary, then it's a solo zone. The next step here is to find zones with bucks and does in them. Those are your herd zones, quite obviously. For the fallow deer grind, what I want you to do is go ahead and pick 10, no more, no less, herd zones with bucks and does in them of choice. These are completely your choice to make your main shooter zones. Now, we're going to talk about mains and exteriors later. This is all kind of confusing right now. We're just getting you guys set up. I don't want to dump the info on you too much. I feel like a lot of guides just do that, including some of my older ones. All you need to know right now is pick 10 zones of choice and get set up on them. If you don't know how to set up, I'll talk about it just a little bit, but I do have setup guides on my channel. It's very simple. I would definitely suggest spending some time on your map, run around your entire map, and look for zones that you know you're going to be comfortable shooting. I'd recommend zones that have a lot of deer in them, zones that are wide open, easy to shoot. There's quite a lot of them. In fact, pretty much every single zone, besides maybe some up in the nooks and crannies on the bottom coast here, are extremely wide open, which makes this grind super beginner friendly and super easy because 99.9% of the zones are all extremely wide open and easy to shoot. And then once you find a zone that you're set up on, again, you need 10 of them. We're not going to go into all the criteria right now because that's a little bit too much information. I don't want to make this video confusing any more than Great One grinding already is. But the basic premises of the setup is you want your tripod over 164 meters from the zone that you're shooting, so that way you can sprint into it. You want the tent 250 meters from the zones so it doesn't spook the animals when you spawn in. Claim tent, if you want, doesn't matter. Claim tent is just the tent you put right on top of the zone you're shooting, so you don't gotta run all the way around over there to claim your harvest. You can just go to your tent, shoot the zone from the tripod, grab this tent, fast travel to it, and immediately claim whatever deer are over there. Again, I have whole setup guides on my channel going into detail on how that works. I would assume you already know how to get set up, you're just here to learn how to do the grind. So, little recap, to go over what we have already. You should have all your drink zones discovered, you should be getting consistent respawns, you should understand what a solo zone looks like, just like this guy here, or just like these guys out here. Never want to set up on zones like this. You want to set up on zones like this, that have males and females in them. Very, very simple. You want to pick 10 of these, go ahead and get set up on 10 of these, no more, no less. And that should be where you are with your Great One grind. Congratulations, you're making amazing progress so far, and you're about to begin shooting. So it's at this point in the Great One guide where you need to make a big choice. Ask yourself this question: how serious are you about the Fallow Deer Great One grind? Do you want several Great Ones? Do you want a consistent diamond rate? Do you want a consistent Great One rate? Do you want to spawn bigger rares? If so, then using herd management may be a good investment for you. If you're an extremely early off beginner player, it's not that I wouldn't suggest it, it's just a little pre-warning that herd management can get a little bit confusing, but this video should keep it as borderline simple as possible for you guys. At this point, as long as you followed the guide to a T, again, you should be set up on 10 zones. Herd zones, you should have your drink zones discovered and getting consistent respawns. If you're not going to use herd management, it's literally as simple as this, my friends. Just start shooting $2 out of each zone that you set up. It is that simple. Shoot no more, no less if you can help it. $2 out of each zone. Make sure that you claim the males. If you don't claim the males, it'll actually prevent a Great One from spawning. The game now, as of a couple years ago, recognizes it as dirty grinding. So you cannot spawn a Great One from unclaimed harvests anymore. Just a little FYI there. And again, if you're not going to herd manage, that's what you need to do from this point going forward. Start to rotate through your zones, shoot every male you see. That simple. If you are going to herd manage, we're going to talk about what you need to do to HM right now. Okay, so as always, we are reading from the Extreme HM FAQ over in the Squid Gang. All of this text is public for you guys. I'll have the link for that down below. Free Discord server to join. If you guys want all the herd management info in text format, written by none other than the man himself, AMAC. All credit goes to him. He came up with this method many years ago, and I'm going to explain it to you guys in a super simple way right now. So picking up where we left off. If you guys are going to herd manage, you first need to understand the difference between main zones and exterior zones. There's a lot of videos out there that'll just confuse the crap out of you and expect you to know what that is, and it is an extremely simple thing. You guys remember those 10 zones I had you set up on? Those 10 herd zones I had you set up on? Those 10 zones are your main zones. Actually, thank God I didn't shoot that with a 300. That's a diamond. There we go. Had a diamond spawn in an exterior here a second ago. Sorry about that. Kind of interrupted the video. Those 10 zones that I had you set up on, those are your main zones. Your exterior zones are quite legitimately every other zone on your map. Again, those 10 zones that you set up on with your tents and tripods at the beginning, those are your main zones. Your exteriors are every other zone on the map. It's that simple. In your main zones, your main 10 shooters, you shoot every single level. Does not matter the level of the male. Even if it's a tiny little level 2, you need to shoot it out of your main 10 zones, unless it is a diamond. You want to leave diamonds on your map, as you guys have probably seen in some of my zones thus far throughout the video. I have diamonds everywhere, plus I'm actually stacking a Great One on my map that I popped last night. And the reason for that is, 265 dime there by the way, the reason you want to leave the diamonds in your 10 main zones and in your 10 main zones only, is because of the fact that when you have max level animals, you can see level 5 here, very high weight, very high score. In those 10 main zones, the game quite frankly thinks to itself, hey, there's a bunch of giant animals on the map right now, and to keep these giant animals rare, I need to spawn a bunch of tiny animals so the player finds more tiny animals than giant animals. In other words, you have to think of it like a scale. When you turn your map on, for the very first time your map is balanced. When you have diamonds on your map, specifically in those 10 main zones, the scale goes to the left. There's a bunch of giant diamonds on your map, and the game wants to level the scale back out. It does that by spawning a ton of small animals. And you're probably wondering to yourself, Squid, why would I want the game to spawn small animals? This is where your exterior zones come in, or every other zone on your map besides the zones you're set up on. So for this, we're going to head to an exterior zone. I have a really good one right here. So in your exterior zones, you are going to want to shoot every single level. This includes diamonds, besides level 2s. As you can see, this is a herd managed exterior zone. I have all females in level 2s. The estimate of the level 2 does not matter, you just want to leave level 2s. If it's a level 2 and it's not in your main 10 zones, then you're going to want to leave it. If you spawn a level 2 in one of your main 10 zones, yeah, you got to shoot it. But if it's in an exterior zone, then you're going to want to leave it. That is a herd managed buck. The goal is to make it so every single zone on your map besides those 10 zones that you're set up on is filled with level 2s. This is how your exterior zones should look. And also, solo zones classify as exterior zones. We're going to talk more about that here in a second. But the easy way to get your exterior zones to look like this, to herd manage your exterior zones, again, is to abuse that skill system. You want to put all the diamonds in your main zones. As you can see here, this is a main zone, massive deer. The game senses there's a bunch of diamonds here, and the only way to get diamonds into your main zones is just to shoot. I have a lot of people ask that, sorry, just had to put that in there. Might have to shoot a little bit, but it happens. The game senses those big deer are there, and force spawns more of these ones, which yes, will temporarily lead to getting a lot of small deer in your main zones. But as soon as you get all of the zones you're not set up on looking like this, or at least 95% of them, you can go through and shoot all the diamonds off your map. And then what will happen is all of the bucks in your main zones, after you shoot your diamonds out, will consistently be massive, meaning big max weight level 4s and super consistent diamonds. You should see, as long as you do proper AMAC HM that I'm teaching you right now, you should see a 1 in 6 to a 1 in 10 diamond rate for the fallow deer. It is ridiculous how consistent the diamond fallow are. So solo zones. Again, I explained to you guys what those are at the beginning, little recap. They're literally just zones that have only males or a singular male in them. The goal is to get your solo zones to also be level 2s, just like that. The only thing is, when you shoot a solo zone, say for example this male here was a solo, let's just pretend there's no other deer there with him. When I shoot a solo, he'll come back at a completely random place on the map, where their drink zones can spawn in at. Even if you have all your drink zones discovered, he'll respawn somewhere as completely random. That's just how solos are, they're an absolute pain. The only place a solo will respawn exactly where you shot it from is these lakes up here. And really the only way to shoot down your solos is to do an exterior run, which is very simple. You're just running around looking for exterior zones. And if there's any shooter bucks in them, then you shoot them. If you find a solo, and it's a big level 3, level 4 or level 5, if it's not a level 2, then you're going to need to shoot it. It's that simple. You don't got to go looking for the individual respawn of the solo that you shot, running your entire map just to find one solo zone. I've seen a lot of guides that'll tell you to do that. That is absolutely insane. All you got to do, it's very simple. If you find a solo, and it's a shooter, meaning it's not a level 2, then shoot it. Doesn't matter where it respawns at, you'll eventually find it again just by running your exterior zones. Whether it takes you a week or whether you find it in 15 minutes, you will find it again. You don't need to worry about running around and looking for the individual zone. All you gotta do is shoot it, and keep shooting every single solo that you see that's a shooter until eventually you get to a point like me to where there's literally only 3 solos on your map that are still big levels. And you just keep shooting those 3 solos until eventually they come back as level 2s as well. Now, little recap here. Let's just go over what we've said already. In your main zones, you want to stack your diamonds, shoot every male that you see. In your exterior zones, also solo zones, you want to shoot everything you see and leave level 2s. That simple. Repeat the process until every single zone besides the zones you're set up on looks like this, level 2s. Now, little FYI here. If you only leave level 2s in your exteriors, meaning you get to a point of where it's like every single exterior zone is a 2, which is frankly the goal, you can overherd manage your map. And I'm going to teach you guys how to not overherd manage your map, and pretty much the last step to HM, which kind of makes it a little bit easier actually. In order to not herd manage your map, I would suggest leaving a bunch of level 3s, specifically 6 level 3s, on your map. Now you want to make sure that the maximum estimate of the level 3s that you're leaving is below 145. As you can see, this is a level 3 here. He has a max of 126. It might as well have just spawned as a 2. I really don't know why. But it is a level 3. The game is recognizing it as a level 3. And you want to make sure that you have at least 6 level 3s on your map I would say probably no more than 10 level 3s on your map at any given time if you're doing herd management. If you leave only level 2s in your exteriors, as you can see, there's another exterior here with a level 2 in it, and another level 2 in it. If you leave only level 2s, you will overherd manage. What overherd managing means is there's too many level 2s on your map. There's not enough room in the respawn pool to spawn deer that are bigger than level 2s when there's that many level 2s on your map. So just be mindful of that. You want to have at least 6 level 3s on your map at any given time, which makes the process easier. All you gotta do is leave 6 level 3s that have a maximum estimate of below 145. So for example, this is a level 2, the estimate doesn't matter, but if this were a level 3, as you can see it's 104 to 145, that would be borderline shooter. If the estimate was 104 to 150 and it were a level 3, then I would shoot it. But this is a level 2. Like I said earlier, the estimate doesn't matter on level 2s, you just leave every level 2 you spawn. That simple. And then you just want to repeat this process on all of your exterior zones until eventually every single zone on your map besides the ones you're set up on looks like this. All level 2s, so you can see 3 level 2s out here, and then 6 level 3s that have a maximum estimate of 145 or below on your map at any given time. I like to do no more, no less than 6. Because if you have more than 6 level 3s, your herd management might not be heavy enough to get the kind of diamond rate that I want. If you have less than 6, then you'll overherd manage. Credit to Mac for coming up with that. He's actually taken the time to experiment with his map. I think he started with 10 level 3s, shot 1, went down to 9 level 3s, shot 1, went down to 5 level 3s, overherd managed, shot a deer, continued shooting it till it respawned as a level 3, and eventually he found the number of 6 that works absolutely perfectly. So thank the Lord above. We have Mac in the community that is crazy enough to experiment with that kind of stuff. I can't imagine how long it took. But I appreciate y'all for watching this video. If it did, in fact, help you guys out, I'm trying to redo all of my Great One guides with updated, new information. I really do appreciate y'all for watching. I tried as hard as I possibly could on this video to cover absolutely everything in the most simple way possible. Again, the Discord link is in the description below. If you guys want to join that, I would highly, highly suggest it. We have all the HM info in text. My voice chat specialist taking him down is in there 24/7. He has a disability to where he only sleeps 3 hours a day. He's retired. And he's quite literally dedicating his entire life to our Discord server. They've been in there for 810 hours as of recording this video. None of them's even left once. Hop over there. I'm in voice chat pretty much every single night. We will help you one-on-one in voice chat. Shoot, taking them down goes out to people's maps all the time. It's absolutely amazing, man. If you guys wouldn't mind, hit that like button, subscribe. I am trying to get to 50k by the end of 2026. Your support is very, very much appreciated. And as always, my name is Squid. You're watching Squidster Gaming. We'll catch you guys in the next banger. Peace out, my gamers.